Back inside the rider. Back inside the rider. I feel, bro, listen, last podcast was so long. I feel like I've not left the room.
The last podcast was so long, my internet timed out.
Bro, listen.
I used up my bandwidth for the month, and it kicked me out.
Have you watched it back? Have you watched it back yet?
No, not the whole thing.
Oh,
not
fam,
yet.
the end was funny, man. You come back into the convo, and it was like, we're finished now, mate.
Bro, I was pissed. I still had shit to say, man. I wasn't finished.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I was like, we got 2 hours deep. I was thinking this is a whole another episode, isn't it? So let's just, you know.
It is indeed.
You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, TalkOver back in the building. We're back. What's good? How are we, family?
Are we allowed to go to the barbers yet, bruv?
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, there's a new announcement today. Did you see it?
What?
Yeah, you're allowed to go barbers from 4th of July.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Have you not seen the news today?
No. I don't do the news anymore, mate.
I don't really, but I get the important updates from my Sky app. So I just literally keep in touch with them. I was watching the briefings at first, and then I was just like, they just chat shit, mate. Let's be completely honest. The guy chats shit. Yeah. So I was like, I stopped watching him. But barbers are back open. I swear I tweeted something before, actually. There's a few things. Pubs are going to be back open. This is with social distancing of. I
did see that. A lot of people tweeting about that today. 1
meter distance. Obviously,
it's not going to be that, isn't it?
Oh, is it a fork?
It's not going to be like.
He's basically said no one's listening, so on the 4th of July, do what you want.
You know what it is? No, let me tell you exactly what the government are doing with this year. They're saying, right, things are opening. You know, you might not know this because obviously you're not a parent yet. But as a parent, yeah, sometimes your kids will do things and you know it might end badly for them. But at the same time, you don't want to stop them doing things. So like my son, for example, he's a renegade at the park. He likes climbing on the big slides.
He's a renegade, you know.
Above, but no. So he'll climb above the slides. He'll climb on top of the bits you're not supposed to climb on top of. But he's generally like, oh, can I go up there? And I'll say, like, you can, but if you hurt yourself, it's your fault.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the government are doing right now.
Bro, that's actually a great analogy. It literally is, go out and do your thing, but if you die of corona...
it's not us. They're saying, look, we've set the rules. They're saying the 1 meter thing is basically the parents saying, you shouldn't really climb up there, but I'm not going to stop you because I don't want to be a horrible parent. That's what the government. That's what the government are doing right now. You can climb on the climbing frame, but if you fall off, we did tell you climbing on the climbing frame was a shitty idea. So I don't
understand it, bro, because it's like you can go get a trim now, like you can go shopping, you can go out for food with your friends, you can stay out. Yeah, from the 4th of July. From the 4th of July.
Okay, yeah.
From the 4th of July. Also, what was one of the new ones? You can go to someone else's house and stay over there.
Right.
As long as you social distance.
Sleepovers.
Yeah, bro.
It's like your parents
going to link a gal and sleeping in the next room.
Your
obviously,
parents...
not me, obviously, but I mean in general. But like,
don't tell wifey, bro.
she don't listen to this. But like, you can go for a pint and keep like 1 meter apart, but you can't go to the gym. The gyms aren't opening. The clubs aren't opening. So I can go get my hair cut, which is contact. But I can't go to a gym where, fair enough, it's a bit sweaty in that, but I'm not going to touch anybody. But I can sit in a chair and man can rub up my head.
I do get the gym because...
I get it, but what about a pub? Man be pissing all over their hands and touching shit and not washing their hands. Like, it's disgusting.
That's true. But I do understand the gym in the sense that, bruv, I get sweaty. I'm not saying obviously it comes out in your sweat, but the other thing is, you know when you're benching those heavy weights and you're putting a lot of effort in, sometimes a bit of spit comes out your mouth, innit? Like, I know that for me anyway. And so people would spit everywhere in the gym. So I get it about the gym, spitting everywhere. But actually, with that said, you could just make compulsory masks. So here's the thing, yeah? If the masks work, then why aren't all businesses allowed to open? If I'm wearing a mask is the solution, why aren't clubs? Okay, you can come to the club, but you have to wear a mask.
Fam.
And why can't? But in that case, if you're then saying, well, it's because the masks don't work, why do we wear them?
Fam, don't listen. I've not worn a mask once, fam. I haven't. I've not worn one. I tell a lie. I went to the hospital, not for the Rona, but I went to the hospital, and they were giving them out at the desk like it was a necessity thing. So I'm sat there in this waiting room for about 6 hours wearing this mask, man. Hospital was a myth. But besides that, I've not worn any masks. Like people say they don't work, they do work. Like I've just kind of kept low key in it. Like I know the rules, like you say, they're just leaving you to make your own decisions. So you can even be really stupid or, you know, it's all a bit mad, but I feel like it's just all been done completely backwards. Like I hope these men know what they're doing because come October, yeah, it could be a myth. It could be a myth for everybody. Like 4th of July is a Saturday, right?
Mate, is there any?
All
football,
the pubs are going to open. All the pubs are going to open. Restaurants are going to be open. Like it's going to be a myth. I went into Market Street, which is like the main street in Manchester, on Saturday to drop off a parcel. Right? Listen, I was in and out of there so quick. That shit was like a normal Saturday, bro. Market Street is ram. I just seen herds of people out in the sun. I'm like, nobody is listening anyway. So
did you see the photographs of the queues at Nike Town in London?
Yeah. I see man trying to fight to get in the door.
That's the thing. They bust the doors open. Like the security opened the doors, and it looked like one of those sales days that they have. Like, and there was no social distancing in the queue.
We spoke about this last week, innit? There wasn't. I'm picking my nose on camera, but I'm not arsed. There wasn't even like a trainer release or anything. Like
so. Yeah,
Primark same way. Primark same way, man. Like we spoke about it briefly last week, innit?
If that's the case, then why can't we just open up the clubs? Like, I genuinely don't get it, bro.
Go to a pub, right?
Yeah.
And drink. Yeah. People are going to be treating the pubs like it's a ting now. Like, man are going to be like, oh, we're going to the Woolpack on Friday.
Don't forget as well, there's a lot of people that have been furloughed from their jobs, so they're not working and they're still not working, and they're still getting paid. And not only that, now the pubs are open, so they're still getting paid. They've got no work on Monday, and now the pubs are getting open. So like, it's going to be even madder than before. Not to mention, like, it's
people aren't listening anyway, bro. They're not listening. Like,
no,
people aren't listening anyway. Like, it's. Listen, with Brits, right, you give them an inch, they're going to run a mile. If you tell man they can go out to the pub on Saturday, I don't understand how... It's physically impossible to stop people going within distance of each other. It's like everyone social distances, but if you go in Tesco, all of a sudden no one social distances. Man will be in the aisle and someone come up to my missus the other day who was in booths, getting some food, little posh thing and that. And some guy, she's looking, and a guy comes and stands next to her looking at stuff, and he's like, "Oh, you don't really mind about this social distancing stuff, do you?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do." Like, guy just comes and stands right next to her, like, yeah, and actually asks the wifey, like, is she bothered that he's stood on her toes? It's just, anyway, it remains to be seen, but.
Yeah.
Clubs are going to be clubs ain't coming round. I reckon September-ish. I think I'm thinking September times in my head.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about this every week. People must think, well, change the flipping record.
Change the record. This is the same intro. This is the same.
Because this is all we have to fucking talk about.
Yeah, it is at the moment.
Anyway.
Yeah, mind you, I was doing some science with my son today. No, we're not going to talk about that. Don't worry. We've got a guest. We've got a guest waiting to join us right now. Shall I let him in the room?
Oh, is he waiting in the wings?
Yes, sir.
All right, sick.
Does he get an intro, or shall I just let him fly in?
No. All right. So this week, this guy was meant to come on. We've had 2 other times set that have just not worked out. Silk. I was speaking to Silk last night, and he was sat there waiting at 8:00 to do the podcast last night, and it was the wrong day. And it was the wrong day. It was like fucking hell. Got the wrong day.
That's the perfect intro.
Anyway, it's DJ Silk, man. He's coming in.
He's asleep. No,
Here
he's
he
awake.
is.
He's connecting.
Can he hear us? Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear us, G?
How do I get the audio to come from my headphones? The fuck?
If you go to your, is it the preferences double? Yeah.
I guess so.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I
you
can
hear
now. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, you could. This guy kills me, you know. What was I saying then before you come in? It's like he tweeted me last night. He sat there waiting for us to come on. It's the wrong fucking day.
Mate.
Sound an absolute mare.
Mate, it just sums up me as a DJ. How do I do it so I can see both of you?
You need to set the
top right. It should say gallery view.
Yeah. Ah,
Click
there we
on that
go.
and
Good. Yeah.
you see everybody.
Is that picture alright? Because it's on my shitty MacBook, man.
Nah, you should be live, bro. This is the way we've done it with everybody else, to be fair. So
Well, I could do it on my phone, but
No,
it's good. It's cool, man.
The branding there is
I was gonna
perfect,
say
boy.
he's got the setup nice,
Shut
innit?
down Saturdays.
no, you never know.
Yo, DJ Silk is in the building, man. How you doing, bro? You good, yeah?
Yeah, man, safe. I'm good. Pleasure to be here, boys.
Yeah, it's about time, to be fair. I think we had 2 other times setting it, and it's just not happened. But we got there in the end.
Oh no, what a life.
My bad, bro. My bad. So fucking hell, bro. Before we go anywhere, how's quarantine been treating you, man? Fucking hell, it's been a mad one.
To be fair, quarantine's been alright to me, man. I can't really.
You've had it nice, bro. You've been doing well, man. I see you.
Yeah, I mean, as far as not making as much money as normal.
100.
You know what I mean? That's. I'm not being in the clubs. I mean, you know, I basically live in the clubs.
True say.
As I'm sure you guys do as well. So, like, I was saying this at the beginning of the quarantine to a lot of DJs. I said, like, it's made me realise how much my life is DJing.
True talk.
Because I lost a lot of love for it, man. I'll be honest with you. Like, until I started doing the throwback parties, I hated being in the clubs. The only reason why I was there was for the money. And that's the truth, man. I hated it.
I can so relate to that, bro, because I feel like 6 months ago I was in the same position. Like I was literally before every gig. I'm saying to wifey, I can't even be asked tonight.
Oh yeah.
Like all the time, and it become a money chaser, which is, I mean, like you say, just being real about it, innit? And then I think the event, same way as you, kind of brought love back for it, like in regards to what we did with Get Loose. So same way, man. But you say so you're missing it, G? Yeah, you're missing the clubs and that now.
I feel like my whole love for the game has come back. You know, there's a saying about something that makes the heart grow fonder. I don't know what the saying is, but
yeah, I know.
I feel that's what it is, and it's like I was saying because what happened was when my quarantine started, like I started a group with all the DJs from Birmingham and like the surrounding areas.
Sick.
Where we could talk about stuff, and I've never really been that kind of DJ either. So I started that, and one of the things I said is like, you don't realise how much your whole world revolves around this one thing, man. It's crazy.
Man set up the WhatsApp and got the whole community together. That's sick, that, bro. Like,
yeah, I did. I mean, so everybody from Birmingham was in there. Like everybody who's like creditable or whatever you call it. I'd say, yeah, everybody was in there, and it was great.
What was the reason behind you setting that up, bro? Like, was that a conscious thing that you wanted to do to bring the community together with no one actually being able to connect and actually be out in the clubs? Yeah,
so basically what I thought was, I mean, out of everyone there, everyone in the group, apart from probably VIP, I've probably been doing it the longest. And I've also been through the most.
Okay.
So I've been through similar situations to what we're going through now. Like, there was a time where I was banned from clubs.
For real? What did you do, fam?
Hold on, yeah.
What's the reason?
Talk about that. What happened?
Just Google it. You'll be good.
Like, is that shit out there, like proper news online? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I was a part of a club. I had an event there. Someone got stabbed. The club blamed me, and then it just snowballed. But
oh snap!
Right. Okay. You know what? I actually had a similar thing to that. You know, so we used to throw, me and a friend of mine, Nick, we used to throw hip hop strip club nights. And
Oh yes.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
they were amazing. So it was basically, we noticed there was a gap in the market because they were so successful in America, and obviously all the rappers made music for the strip clubs, especially in places like Atlanta, some places in New York. There was just strip club, strip clubs. So we noticed there wasn't anything like it in the UK. So we set up these nights, and what we actually did was, in the early days, we started flying girls over from Miami to be the headliners. So we flew some girls over from King of Diamonds to come and do headline shows and all the twerk shows and stuff.
A club in Brum was doing that as well. That's it. They kind of got popping 101. I don't know if you heard of that spot.
Yeah.
Flying out strippers from America,
That's what their idea was.
Yeah. So basically what happened there is, after one of the events, there was a kickoff outside. Actually, there was a kickoff inside and a bit of a punch up, and then it ended up outside. But then about a mile away from the venue, on the same night, somebody got stabbed, and they blamed our event. And basically, because it was me and my friend Nick, but he's not a DJ, so naturally we put my name down as like headline DJ, quote unquote. Because my name was the headline DJ and it was in London, they saw DJ Dubl stabbing. Must have been because of Dubl. That's his following. They're going around stabbing each other. No more shows in London. The problem was, that was, I think, City of London police, and there were other counties that get their risk. You know, when 696 was a thing, other counties get their risk assessment information from City of London police. So I also had another brand that I was working for in Bedford, which is miles from London, and the clubs all blacklisted
got boycotted up there as
well.
Yeah,
the clubs all blacklisted me. Bro, I lost thousands that year because of the 696 form, and because of City of London police having my name down as very high risk. So, and yeah, it was all sorts of legal stuff going on.
What is it with pinning it on the DJs? Like, we can control the behaviour of, because the same thing happened at Jambo. A doorman got stabbed one time, and
it's not
same way.
It's not. Basically, what it is the club owners or the promoters, they're the ones that pin it on the DJ. The police don't give a fuck about me or you. They don't care. Like, we're just anyone. What happens is when the police go in there after something's kicked off, they want to know everything about the night. Now, what clubs do or bars do is what happened with me on many occasions was they would always be like, oh yeah, we had Silk here tonight. That's why, or whatever. And then the police would go, well, did you do a risk assessment? Oh no. So, do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But with my situation, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, like 20 years this year. And it's happened to me. It's happened to me a lot. Throughout
Shit's
the
gonna
years.
die. One sec, boys. Go on, I'm listening.
Throughout the years, but that one time, which I hate talking about because it's so it was a shit time. But when that happened, it was kind of at a point where the club needed a scapegoat because they had so much shit on them that they needed to get out of it.
Okay.
And the only way they could get out of it was by pinning it on me.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, what happened was my birthday party was there, but the club had said that they had no knowledge of it, even though I had proof. But cut a long story short, I ended up in the papers for it. Went to court, won the battle, and I'm here. The club ain't. There we go.
Right. Okay.
Happy day.
So was that a case? Was that a case to do with like slander or something, or was it just purely about whose responsibility it was the event? No, I
had them for slander. I had them for everything.
That incident happened.
I had them for everything.
Okay,
I worked. Basically, what happened was licensing never met me, or they'd only heard of me.
Right.
So when everything kicked off, because what happened was I fell into that mistake of what a lot of DJs do when they take more than one night at a club. So I was there Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. You know what I mean? And then you get comfortable. Every week you got 400 people coming through the door. You know, you think that this is it. You've got money coming out your ass, and then shit hits the fan, and then you got nothing. But I'm used to that though. Right. So that I'm always able to like go, okay, cool, next club, let's go. But what happened was when they blamed it on me, then I couldn't bounce to another club.
Okay.
So then I thought, oh shit, what can I do? Because I am a stupid person, so I thought, all right, then I'm gonna go legal with it. So then that's what I did.
Fair play. So did you take some downtime after that situation then, bro? Did you kind of like ghost out for a bit or?
No, you know what? I started back DJing in the clubs probably like maybe 3 weeks after, but it was never. It wasn't the same for. That was 7 years ago, so it wasn't the same probably for about 2 years.
Right.
And then what I decided to do then was I thought, okay, I need to go down a different route, and then that's when I went down the student route.
Okay. I feel like you definitely use that to your advantage, bro, because looking at like what you're doing now, especially even before like the lockdown situation, the way you flip these fucking old school parties, bro, like you're doing a madness, man. I gotta be honest.
I'm just quite fortunate that over the years I've been able to gain a crowd, a following.
Okay.
And my following have never left me, you know what I mean? Even when that was happening, I was still, you know what I mean? I'll still get work and still do what I'm doing. And they never went away. So all that's happened is, over the time, it's just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. And then eventually I thought, you know, let's get cracking with my own stuff.
What's been the key to that is then, bro? Like the longevity, because like we're all the older DJs, I would say. Like we've been out here 15, 20 years, like probably each. Like what's been the key to that longevity is and building that solid crowd, like you say? Because now you've been doing it all this time, but you probably throw in the biggest raves that you've done, I guess. Like
yeah. I mean, I've always done a birthday event, but never anything like this.
Especially with students as well, because you mentioned you got student following. That's the problem I've had with student followings is there's a very high turnaround. Because with the unis, the longest that they're going to stay in the town is like 3-4 years. And then you've got a whole new batch to deal with.
But you know what? If I'm totally honest with you, I don't have a student following.
Right, okay.
What I did was I was able to get in with, it was a good friend of mine now, one of the biggest student promoters. So then what happened was I just took myself out of the game for a bit. Like I was doing one-off bookings. Like I look at it as like you got a student scene, then you got like this bullshit bottle scene, and then you've got the real crowd. You know what I mean? And then like the student crowd, I don't really give a fuck about none of them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just there to keep it going, tick me over, and then that's it. But like the real crowd, that's all I ever cared about. And then when that opportunity came for me to be able to be back there, you know, I just took it as much as I can. The student crowd is cool and stuff, but they don't care about like the DJ. They don't really.
They don't tap in it, like you say. Like Dubl just said, it's a turnover of people, and they don't really. You might get a couple of little pockets of people that will fuck with you and stick with you, but from the years I've done student events, same way. Like I feel like the core following we built initially with our jam stuff, like they've kind of grown with us all the way and like stuck with us that real core following. I'm the same as you, so I hate all the bottle. Like we've had these conversations on here bare times, like the bottle clubs, double same way. Like it's just not my thing, innit? Like I guess it's just a preference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever.
So I guess the thing you're getting at, the point you were making, is obviously coming into the lockdown where everything's shut. You've been here before, so you kind of knew.
Yeah, so going back to
how to react.
So that's what I mean. So I've always been known as a DJ that ain't really been a DJ's like best mate, if you know what I mean. Because like I said, I mean, I come from an era where, you know, it's me versus you. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing, in more ways than one. And the DJs that say that isn't the case, they're full of shit. Do you know what I mean? That is the truth.
I rate the honesty, man.
It is. I mean, you know, especially if you come from hip hop, that's what hip hop is. Like, it's I'm better than you. And if you don't think that you're better than someone else, you're in the wrong game. So I was always known as kind of that guy. But everybody respected me because, like I said, but I think what gives people longevity is you got to be good. And I think that's what it is. Like, so you can think about me whatever you want as a person, but as a DJ, you can't say fuck all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True stories.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to change that whole aspect, and I know there's a lot of DJs that this was going to be a massive thing for them. They're going to lose a lot of money. A lot of them didn't have no other jobs. So I thought, like, let me do something, get everyone together so we can communicate and give each other little advice and ideas and stuff. And it's worked out really well. Do you know what I mean? It's been like, it's still going, I think. I don't really check in too much anymore, but
well, you set it up and you got people talking in it, so I guess you kind of done.
I mean,
your part.
Rusky's left about 14 times. I don't know whether he's still in there.
Man gets emotional, you know.
Yeah. He is a drama queen.
For fuck's sake, man. Flipping heck. I've seen you tweet a couple of times about like you flipping like the negatives into positives, obviously going back to that club shit you mentioned, and obviously now, like the way you've, well, just watching the way you've built, like even just down to your lives and stuff now with quarantine, the way you've just flipped it and like turned what has kind of, a lot of DJs have just been so downhearted by it and obviously losing P's, but I feel like you've just fucking gone full storm at it, man, and built something sick. Like you obviously been out here for a minute anyway, but what you've done with the streams and that proper.
Yeah, you know what it is like. You know when you hear people say things like that. Whenever I used to hear like a DJ or someone go, "Oh, you know, I turn a negative into a positive" and things like that, I used to think, "Fuck off, mate, you're full of bollocks." You know what I mean? but when you actually go, you know what? Let me take that on board. It's like there's a few DJs that I'm around, and they're very philosophical. They're very like motivated by what other people say. You know what I mean? They'll read a book, and then next thing you know, tomorrow they'll go and fucking smash it. Like days like that, for example.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Talks.
But I ain't like that. Like I don't want to. I do things on like I do it around what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's because I'm just a little bit older, been around a little bit more. But what happened when the lockdown came? Like everybody, you know, was the same. Everyone was like, "Fuck," you know. But like, I just thought I've got to find a way to still keep out there, not only for my brand, but for my own self. Do you know what I mean? Because man, this game, like you spoke a lot of times about anxiety and all that shit that comes with it, man. I mean, I don't think you can be a DJ in this game and not suffer with anxiety. It's crazy.
It's like a rite of passage, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it?
Oh, man.
I literally, an hour before this, I said to Dole, I'm at home struggling an hour ago. I need to fucking give my head a slap and get over to the studio. Like, I think it just instills in the DJs. It's a weird one for us, man. It's mad.
Yeah, it's like, so when the things have happened with me in the past where, you know, you lose work, or, you know, I've had a lot of massive opportunities that came away and then they didn't amount to anything. So what I would do is I'd sit at home and be like, it's because of this, or it's because of that person, or it's because I didn't do this. And you know what I mean? I'd just beat myself up over it. And then, like I said, I just think it comes with maturity, and eventually you just go, you know what? No, I'm in control of what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think the lives, as much as they are, you know, it's whatever now. It doesn't really matter now. But at the time, for me, the lives meant more than what it meant to everybody else, because it was my way of not only proving to other people, but to proving to myself that, look, we've still got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
Well, it took me 20 years to get my name known outside of the Midlands.
I was just about to say, bro, like you've been doing this for time, so it's like seeing the way your followers like went up and all that. Like, how was it for you, like knowing you've been here this time and certain man are just tapping into what you're doing now? Because you're like, bro, I've been here. I've already been here since day.
Man, like, so what I done was I made that mistake of searching my name on Twitter.
Okay.
Because I had one of the lives that went fucking crazy, like 2,500 people was in the live.
Yeah, I was locked in, man. I remember that one. Fucking hell.
And then the day after, I was like, you know, everything blown up. I thought, let me just have a little look. My God, I wish I'd never done that. Because, like, everywhere, people would treat me like I was this brand new DJ. Yo, who's this white guy playing the bashment from Birmingham? And then, like, people were, like, having conversations with each other going, yo, you know, have you heard about this Silk guy? And then, like, a few ways down the thread, someone from, like, Birmingham would pop in and go, what? You don't know about, you know what I mean? And that's what it was like. I was like, what the fuck, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's mad.
I always say that to the DJs, man. I say, look, it's took me that long to get known in London, like, and now look. So.
London's a weird one as well, man, because they don't really look outside of their area, innit? So if your name's touching around them areas, like, you're definitely making some fucking noise. It's a mad one still.
There you go. So every DJ has something in their life that kind of takes them to the next level. Like, I had a lot of opportunities that came, and I took them, and it boosted me a little bit. I think we always get these. You get these things in your career where, like, you'll just get another boost. You know what I mean? Whether it be you'll have an interview with an artist and it pops off, that's your next boost. And then you might do a show with a big artist, then there's your next boost. And it just keeps going. The problem that a lot of DJs have, especially even myself, was sometimes they're very few and far between. So then the space between the next boost and the next boost you feel like, fucking hell, what am I doing? I need something, do you know what I mean? Well, one thing I realise now is we don't need that. They will come, you know what I mean? They will come.
Patience.
Yeah, you got to have patience.
Trust in the fucking process as well, innit?
Yeah, as long as you're a good DJ and you can hold a crowd, you got a little following, you'll always be good, no matter how long. The problem is if you ain't got those three things.
And it's curtains.
Eventually you get found out.
You see, with your lives, when you began doing the live sets straight after lockdown began, was there anything that you did differently, or was there anything that you kind of capitalized on to make yours pop so quickly and in such big numbers?
What I would say is, well, when I first done a live, I think I only got about 200 people maybe, which is still good. Like, you know what I mean? It was still great at the time. I was fucking buzzing. But one thing I noticed is I play a lot of bashment anyway in my sets. I always have done. But the bashment just connected, man. I don't know what it was. I don't know what about it, how I played it, or maybe it was the dubs or whatever, but it just kind of clicked with people, and then that was it. It just spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. So I was like, because originally I was going to go on there and do what I do anyway, where I play like old school R&B, then play bashment, and then maybe come back to the R&B, and then we're done. 2-3 hours. But what happened was, when I started playing the bashment, the numbers just went flying. And then I was like, fuck me, I've got to stay on. And then all of a sudden I'm there 6 hours later, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm looking at that aim, bro, and he's still been there at 1 a.m. still going, man. Bro, listen, 2 hours, a man feels exhausted after a 2-hour live. I don't know, use different kind of stamina them lives, mate. I'm telling you.
You know what I think the key is? You know what I think the key is to that, if you want to do longer lives and have more fun, is forget about the audience.
Oh yeah, you've got to. Because even in the beginning.
Yeah, I did a Zoom party quite early on in lockdown, and this was just, I've spoken about it on the pod club, but it was just like, it wasn't like it wasn't like a...
This guy's a dickhead, man.
It wasn't a big public thing, it was literally just a bunch of friends, but a lot of the stuff I was playing to entertain them. Does that make sense? But then I've had other times where literally I've just come in the studio, just turn things on to just jam. No cameras, no recording, nothing. Bro, 3-4 hours later, I'm still just partying by myself. Just playing rhythms that I want to hear, all the stuff that I want to play. Having so much fun with it. I think when it comes to streaming, if you want to do the super long sets and do the marathon sets, I think that's the attitude you kind of have to have.
What happened was, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth. A lot of people saw other people hit numbers, and they thought they were instantly going to bang, I'm going to log in because I've got X, Y, and Z followers, and I'm going to hit those numbers because rare. But it's just proven that that's not the case. There needs to be something else about you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not really like, I'll be honest, when I DJ in a club, I ain't really like one of them energy guys, like, you know what I mean, jumping around on the mic, and I ain't really, I kind of keep my head down and play songs. But on the live, I just enjoy it, and that's kind of like, maybe my personality shone through, I don't know. But then, like what you were saying about playing songs that you want to play, I think that's how I started. Like, I just started playing songs, and then what was happening was, I was playing the dancehall rhythms from like 2001 to like 2007, and no one was really playing them again. And then all of a sudden, like, that kind of, I think people was reminiscing on that, and then it built, and then, let's say, just snowballed. But I think you've got to go in there with that mentality where, I'm just going to play tonight. That's how I am now. I mean, now, like, I probably do about 300 people now, which is still great. But now I've just got the attitude now where I've kind of proven what I had to prove. Now it's time to just entertain the people that are here and also myself.
How does it feel having gone from a point where you've got, say, 2,500 to now like 300 on a regular basis? That's still a very good number.
That's still dope in my opinion.
Having hit 2,500,
having hit 2,500, like.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so like a few DJs was the same. That they had amazing numbers, but you kind of have to look at it like this. A lot has changed. That was the beginning of lockdown, like the peak. Everyone's out now. Everyone's doing, you know what I mean? And as long as you accept that, you're good. Do you know what I mean? So it's not much different, really. Like, I can tell, I see when DJs lose, they lose the vibe when the numbers drop. I can see, do you know what I mean? And I always was like, I'm not about that anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the thing, I think this is the difference as well as a DJ. It's like I know that if I put a rave on, I'm gonna get my crowd like 400 or 500 people. So this doesn't really mean it. It doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? But like, so now it's more about just entertaining the true followers. So I have to still come on and do what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean?
Real
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you get a buzz when you're seeing thousands of people in. But I don't feel like there's anything different in the way that I play or anything. Definitely not.
Is this something that you want to carry on then, Silk? Or like, are you at the point now where, like you say, man are moving around now, lockdown's easing, people aren't fully locking in? Like, are you gonna? Would you continue to do these lives, or is it gonna be a case of clubs are back open, man are gonna be back in there, and probably not even have the time to do it? You know what I mean?
Well, I think as soon as the club's open, yeah, I won't be doing it. I think I probably will do a couple more. But I mean, I've got a few gigs coming up.
It's got
Are you taking bookings?
already,
Are you taking bookings now then, bro? Like, what's the kind of conversations that are being had, man? I had my first call on Saturday on my residency, and like they're starting to like look at stuff, but I still feel like it's not. There's nothing solid in it. Like no one really knows what's going to happen with the club situation, I guess.
Yeah, so like I mean, I've had that conversation so many times during this time. Like people are asking for dates and giving you a date, and I'm saying, listen, look, I can't. There's no point in this conversation happening because we don't know where we're going to be. You know what I mean? We don't know when the date's going to come, and my price has gone up. You know what I mean? Like you can't talk to me the same. You can't talk to me the same way you talked to me before when I was on 3,500 followers. Now I've got 14 genuine ones. The price is going up.
Real
So
talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
I mean, I've earned now. So
True.
But you know what as well? Like I've been doing a lot of private Insta live parties, which have gone well. Brand live parties, birthdays. I've been doing it all, mate. I've been just trying to keep it in so that I just get a bit comfortable and I can kind of gauge of like where it's going to go after here.
Okay.
So,
So in regards to this social distancing shit then, bruv, like, have you been thinking about, obviously, the next old school party? I know you was working on one just before this shit happened. Like,
yeah, we sold out in a week.
Sold out. So, like, what's the... It's a weird one, isn't it? Bro, it's mad because, like, it's, bro, same way over here. Like, we had events locked in and out. Like, we weren't sold out, but, like, the stuff's out there. And it's like, what do we do now? Like, we don't know what the situation's going to be. Like, are you still holding out, hoping that shit's going to get back to normal and you can just kind of get this old school thing moving again and literally pick up where you left off, but times 10?
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is, I've said this from the beginning, is I'm not going to do anything for a while. Like, I'm going to let everybody else do what they're doing and then just take bookings. The reason being is there's no point because people will go out to fucking someone playing a tambourine in a rave, do you know what I mean? They just want to fucking get out. There's no real, like... They're not going there because it's Silk's Throwback Brunch or whatever. What I am going to do, though, is because of this whole thing, it's showing me that even more than before, that I can do my own stuff, not just for the old school crowd. So probably the first thing that I will do is maybe turn the Shutdown Saturdays here into an actual nightclub brand.
Oh, that could just like, bro, look at the branding and that, and about the shit looks too legit.
Brand is there. And because the dope thing with that is you can also turn that into a live stream from the club. So not only do you have
he knows.
yeah, bro. You know what? It's I've had so many. I don't know if you listen to the podcast much, but I've spoken this almost every week. I've had so many issues streaming that I haven't bothered. I've tried so many different things. The equipment I've got is just not up to scratch. The internet shit here, do you know what I mean? So like, streaming.
We can
honestly, it's been fucking depressing.
That's all I use. Look at that.
That's it. Yeah, sick.
That's all you need,
So
man.
That's all you need.
Yeah, but I mean, literally everything that I've been trying hasn't worked other than the Zoom party that I mentioned before. And I did actually one Instagram live set just because YouTube wasn't working for me. But throughout this whole process, I was very vocal at the start of it in the sense of, let's not all just jump on and start doing live sets and da-da-da-da-da. Let's figure out now that the money's stopped from the clubs, let's figure out how we can monetize what we're doing, or at least turn the Instagram live sets into something that we can get paying customers from, or at least paying fans somehow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can kind of hear what you're saying.
Cut off of it.
Okay, so it goes back to the conversation earlier. Now, you in your own mind have that, like, you know, we should all do this and we should all be organised, and you go on a Thursday, you go on a Friday, and we'll say we'll set up a PayPal account and you do this. But listen, it don't work like that, because one DJ is going to be more popping than the other one, and then people are going to want to be listening to one man over other, and then that's where it all gets fucked up. We even tried it a little bit in the group where DJs were going to go on a certain day, and I just said, lads, listen, just go on when you want to go on. That's why sometimes people would go on the same time as me. It don't mean nothing. But now, this was one thing that I seen early. So I was watching, who was watching? I think it was Tony Matteron, I think, and he had a Cash App link. Insta Live. So I thought, what the fuck's Cash App? Do you know what I mean? So I had a look at it. So then I set one up. I thought, okay, I get what it is. So I'm going to get people to do, you know, like how they do on like the gaming thing, the Twitch and stuff. People can tip you. And but then I've noticed that like the UK people, like our lot, they ain't really on the Cash App thing. But PayPal, every fucker's got a PayPal.
Yep.
So then, while everybody was on the internet saying, oh, you know, I don't agree with, you know, people donating, I was there every week, bang, donate, bang, bang. You know what I mean? And because I wasn't waiting around for somebody else to say, oh, let's do this, I was like, I'm doing it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, great. Do you know what I mean? I made a little income. Yeah. And it did, and it has worked. I don't think I've gone a week where people haven't donated yet.
Bob, did you tweet something the other day? You say someone dropped a bag in there? Was that legit?
I don't know. I don't know where you're going.
Oh, shit, did you take that? My bad, pal. I logged in, I was like, right, Stxylo missed a chick on the fucking Instagram, I'm telling you. Bloody hell.
Mate,
no, that's, you know what, that's more along what I was kind of thinking. No, I wasn't thinking, my plan wasn't to get everyone on a certain schedule and have a collective PayPal. It wasn't anything like that, because like you say, someone's going to be popping more than others, and someone might not even stream, but then they're still part of the collective PayPal. It doesn't work. But my actual initial idea was more to do, rather than Instagram Live, because there was so many takedowns, you know, so much copyright issues going on. My idea was, why don't we set up Zoom parties where you charge? Like, if you want to come into the Zoom party, send X amount through PayPal and I'll send you the private link. So they have to pay to come into the Zoom. That was kind of the idea. That was actually what I wanted to do throughout this time. That was my whole business plan on streaming, was going to be to do that. But I had so many issues getting online and actually doing the fucking sets that I never bothered doing it. But that was kind of where my brain was at. Rather than just doing it in public for everyone to see, make it a lot more exclusive. Cool, I might only have 30 people in there every week, but it's 30 people that are paying to come and see me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people were doing Zoom parties. I was getting a few people ask me to do them, but I just couldn't. Like, I just know the average person. Do you know what I mean? I just know that they're not going to want to do all this download and that blogging. I just know what people are like. Instagram's right there. So what you do is you just. I just was looking and thinking to myself, okay, Instagram's going to take you down if you play new music, so we're not going to do that. Instagram's going to take you down if you let a song play for longer than 90 seconds. Okay, we're not going to do that. Now, let's find music that that if I could play it a little bit longer, they won't know. And let's be honest, they ain't going to really clock on the bashment stuff, do you know what I mean? So that was two reasons then. So not only was the bashment working, it was popping off, but I could play a lot of it and not get locked off. So, and Insta's just right there, do you know what I mean? And like, people just log in, log out, log in, log out. I just can't see that happening with Zoom, do you know what I mean? You have to speak to DJs that actually do it, but I just couldn't see it working. But, like you say, it only needs to be 30 people, and you could charge them £10 and you've made 3 bills.
Exactly. It's like you just said, then getting people away from Instagram, the ease of it. Like I was trying to do stuff over on Twitch and all that, and like people they're just not even trying to hear it. Do you know what I mean? Like the ease of the app is there. But with Zoom, if man are gonna pay, the good thing about Zoom, if they are paying and they're coming in, they're probably gonna stay in. Like with Insta, man can just jump in and out and kind of do what they want. So you know what I mean? It's keeping the engagement and keeping them in there. But I feel like you nailed that in it by just doing your thing, bruv. So
yeah, I think so. But like when it comes to the Zoom things, I think it's the same thing. I think obviously even if it's like if you pay to go in a club, you know what I mean, you pay £10 in, £20 in. If you go in there and it's dead, you're gonna leave. It's the same with the Zoom. People are paying, but then if someone says, "Oh, Silk's fucking Insta Live's popular," they're fucking gone.
True story.
You know what I mean? It's a weird one. You just gotta be realistic. And I think if you be realistic, you'll do well. A lot ain't realistic. So.
Yo, so what's the shout for you then, bro? What's the plans fucking going forward then? You must be sat at home making some notes and thinking how you can fucking get this thing moving after lockdown. Like, have you got anything in the wings? Like, have you got anything on paper? Like, what's the moves for DJ Silk going forward, man?
I don't know. I think I'm
just rolling with it.
Yeah, I just don't know when it's going to go. I think I've just started accepting like outdoor stuff because I don't really mind that too much. But you just don't know, It's just one of them conversations that you don't know because he's just announced today pubs and that are open. Maybe I'll take a fucking pub booking. Fucking Weatherspoons.
We were having a conversation before we had it doing like, but they've made them announcements today. Fucking man can go pub, get their hair cut and whatever. Like, I feel like this whole thing has just been rolled out backwards, innit? Gyms aren't open, clubs are open, but man can go and get a trim and go for a pint with fucking...
What I don't get is, and obviously it doesn't really concern me, but how can you have your hair cut, right, but you can't have your nails done? What the fuck? Are you
pissed off that you can't go and get your nails done, bro?
What's that, bro?
Maybe.
It's like you say you're getting your hair cut and that, and like there's pure like man are touching up your head, but you can't go to... Obviously, I was saying to him, gyms are obviously a bit sweaty and that, but you're not going in there touching man up, but you can go in like to get your hair cut, but you can't get your nails done, but you can go to Tesco where no one ain't social distancing anyway. It's sort of like, what have you made of it all, G?
on the 4th of July, do you know what's going to happen? Everyone is going to be in them pubs.
Trust me.
They ain't going to be able to stop anyone coming in there. So you're going to have hundreds of people next to each other, right? So what they should have done was what some countries did do. They opened up the clubs and said, right, you can have, say, a club like Prism by us that holds 2,000 people. You can open your club, but you can only have 200 people in. That would have done fine. You can open your bar, but you can only have a 60 capacity. Cool. Do you know what I mean? That's what they should have done. But now, it's just going to go crazy, man. And there's just a lot of...
Double's Yo, Double's having serious issues, bro. He said he can't stream. Now I know fucking why.
I thought he was playing around for a bit because he was saying one thing and then he'd go and then I was like, fuck.
Bro, listen, every time last week he disappeared for like 20 minutes in the middle of the podcast, man. He's having a stinker. I think he's on dial-up. But yeah, bro, I hate it all, man. I feel like this whole thing's just been rolled out like completely backwards, mate. Saturday, what was it? 4th of July is a Saturday. Anyway, so it's like everyone's just gonna go ham, bruv. Like pubs are open. What was the other rules that I seen today? It was the pubs, the hairdressing, fucking. You could go and stay at your friend's house.
Yeah, so they changed that.
You can go and stay at your friend's house with another group of people, but you got to keep. So no one ain't social distancing in someone else's yard, man.
No one ain't been social distancing for weeks, bro.
How's it been in Brum in general? Like, have you been out and about? Have you seen like how people treating it?
Well, I'm not from Brum, so I haven't.
Oh shit, you're a Wolves kid, man. Shit, what the fuck? My bad.
No, but I mean, I basically am. But you know, I'd be in Brum four times a week when I was working, but I haven't been to Birmingham since the lockdown, to be honest. But I know for a fact from knowing a lot of people that the park parties are going off, street parties, private parties, everything's happening, man.
We're having issues up here. There was a big one in Manny last week. There was three.
mate.
There was three on the same night.
I've seen that.
But have you seen the video of the guy's arm?
Yes.
The guy's arms hanging off, like he's dead, attacking each other with machetes.
I saw
some
bro, what are they
young girls
doing
being raped.
What are they doing
Like,
in Manchester, man?
What are they doing?
I saw them sword fighting. I saw a video of people sword fighting.
That fusion money, wasn't that fusion?
listen, I'm in a WhatsApp with Fusion, yeah, and he's the one that always posts the videos. The guy loves it, mate.
First of all, why are they sword fighting like the year is 1694?
Well,
and secondly, why are they both at a party with swords?
Bro, listen, yeah, if I could tell you, like, there was three in the same night. There was one over in Partington, which is known to be a proper rough area anyway. So, like, the behaviour over there doesn't surprise me. There was one round the corner from my yard, and then there was one over near where like, Park Life is normally held. Because that was the night that Park Life was meant to be on. And it was so it was a super hot summer's day. Like, Park Life when the sun's out is different level, man. So I think everybody just took it on themselves to just throw a thing. I feel like if the clubs take too long, like that illegal backhand rave stuff could sneak back in, like, and be part of the culture and just.
It's already happening now. So, like I said, I'm getting bookings for it. But the thing is, the only thing that makes me a little bit apprehensive is there's no pat there, no search, no nothing, man.
Yep.
And if you're playing in the wrong area and then the other area come.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
The other problem with those events as well is there's very rarely going to be a security infrastructure.
Oh, no way.
So not just no pat downs at the door, but no security inside to break up fights. So even in the case of if it's not rival areas turning up, even just two guys getting into it or two groups getting into it,
it's
just going to escalate because.
Well, you seen them guys? They were swinging, man. Like, yeah, no security, but we can't control it, can you, man?
Sword fight, like mental.
Having a fucking sword fight. Going back, sorry, my internet dropped out because that's what it does. But yeah, when you mentioned about clubs and pubs being limited capacity, so that's what I'm anticipating is that they're going to say to the clubs, you can open, but. They're probably, I don't know if they're going to do it on like square foot of each thing and work out capacity from that. If they do, venues are going to be in trouble because they're going to go from 2,000 down to literally like 40 people. But if that's the case, I feel like the DJs are going to be the first ones on the chopping block when it comes to fees. Now, I'm in a couple of DJ WhatsApp groups. The conversation's already been floated about, and I've actually instigated the conversation a couple times. But the general consensus, that this worries me quite a lot. The general consensus is most DJs are happy for the clubs to dictate the fees when it opens. For the clubs to turn around and be like, look, this is the budget, take it or leave it. When what I think people aren't realising, when the clubs open, the demand for DJs is going to be through the roof. So,
like, I've had this conversation in our group so many times, but some of the younger lot are just hard of hearing.
Yeah.
Right? But it was the same when this never happened. The promoters and the club owners would dictate the money to them and they would just accept it just to be on the circuit. You know what I mean? You've got to, you'll never be anything more. You'll just always be that circuit, crab in a bucket DJ. And then what will happen is when the lockdown comes and they start saying, oh, obviously because we haven't got X, Y, and Z in the club anymore, we've got to drop the fees, so we take 75 quid. I know you normally take 150, but can you take 75? Because I need the money myself. And then do you think, when they get back popping, you're never going to see that 150 again, ever.
No, never. It's like you said, the minute you stoop down to that level, you're stuck there, innit? And you can't, even if you are taking the hit financially, you got to do it for your own fucking sake, your own brand.
And by that money, the 150, I'm talking about people that are entry level, just come in the game. Because the problem is, that's where they're going to be the most hit. Because clubs are not going to be bothered because they know people are going to want to come out. So they're just going to get any DJ that's got the top 20 and give them a booking. The problem is going to be, they're never ever going to get back to the level where they want to go. Because what's going to happen is when the club get back popping, they're going to book the DJs that's going to bring the crowd because the crowd are going to go again because lockdown, the buzz of being back open's gone.
Yep.
And now they need the DJs who actually can play to come back. And then the DJs that stood their ground and says, no, I ain't accepting that. they're going to get their money, but them guys who drop the money are never ever going to get back to that level.
I just had the conversation with my Saturday spot, and they were like, "Look, we need if we can have a conversation about it where, right, we'll bring it down a little bit with the capacity, but the minute they say it's like a meter distance or the capacity goes back up, like they'll pay me what I was already eating." So I guess it's just a case of whether you're willing to have that conversation, and if you can get it on paper. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, I've got a lot of good relationships with my residencies in it, so they're not them people that are gonna like sucker punch you and drop you down and not put you back up. But I guess it's down to your relationships as well, I guess.
Here's the thing, yeah. Like, again, right, if you're in this game for money, you're in the wrong game. If you need money to provide for your family, go and work at fucking Tesco's, yeah? This is not the game for you. This isn't the game. Like, you can't, if they're going to turn around and say, unless you've got a good relationship, like you're saying, and you've worked with them for a while, then cool. But if it's all about the money, then, like I said, go and get a job. Tesco's are paying £10 an hour. You can do that. And you know what I mean? And you've got your money there. And you can sit at home and wait for the booking. That's what I would do. I would just wait. I'd just go, yeah, you man, do what you're doing. When you're ready, give me a shout. Because they're going to come. And I'll say to people as well, this time should prove to you that you actually don't need DJing. You've survived. You ain't dead, yeah? You ain't starved to death.
Yeah, true. That's real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, with that said, I haven't had to pay any bills either because I put them all on pause for 3 months.
Well.
so yeah, I haven't starved to death, but I haven't had any outgoings. But
now, to be fair, bro, this time, to be fair, like it's allowed, like you just said, you find other ways to hustle and other ways to move. Like I've been making bits of money from other stuff. I've not done no gigs. Like it's kind of, I don't know, man, when it's all pulled away from you, you just find ways to survive and maneuver, man. Like, whether it's DJing or not. I've not missed the clubs, I'm not going to lie. I've not missed it like that.
No, I miss it now. At first, I didn't. At first, because, I mean, obviously, we've all been doing this a long time. So we've all probably been doing minimum 3 bookings a week for as long as we can remember. Do you know what I mean? And so I enjoyed the first part being away from the clubs in a sense of I was able to just rest and not have to do that weekly catch up on music. That's just disposable music, but you got to have it for the club bangers. And 2 weeks later it's dead and no one cares, but you got to keep up. Like, it was exhausting, bro. And I was glad at the start of lockdown to just be able to switch off from that without any guilt and without any, what's the word? Like lashback basically of being slow with the music. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I was glad at the start, but I'm not going to lie. Now I'm itching to get back in the clubs. But so this is the point I was getting at is it's very difficult because the clubs are going to open at a lower capacity, and the first thing to get chopped is the DJ fees. But what I see is where the demand is so high for DJs now, if anything, we should be charging more. Simple business ethics, like supply and demand.
But then it goes back to that.
Like the demand is a lot
thing
higher.
we were talking about earlier on when you were talking about the setting up the Zooms and setting up a way in which we can, monetize. Everyone's getting paid. You're going to get one dickhead who's going to not stick to that, and he's not a dickhead. Exactly. He just wants to provide for his family or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's never going to work. Course. So the best way to do is obviously, like, we've got this group of DJs, and then when everything goes back to normal, everyone's just going to do their own thing anyway. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, that's the way it's going to go. A lot of DJs who've said that, I'm not going to take a cut, or I'm not going to do this. They are. Do you know what I mean? It's just
absolutely.
We've seen it, man, for years. Do you know what I mean? It's just that is the game.
My personal opinion on it is, like Stxylo said, like, I'm sure you're probably the same. So with the people that you work with, we have good relationships. So the club managers and the club owners that I had residencies with before lockdown, I make a point. It's not just business. Like, we're very cool. We chat outside of the club and stuff like that to maintain like almost a friendship through the business, if that makes sense. With those people, I would definitely work with them in a sense that if they approach me and say, look, numbers are going to be down, our profits are going to be right down, we've already suffered because we've not made any money for 3 months, so we're at a lower capacity, can you take less? I would probably be open to having a conversation about that with the understanding that when the numbers are back up and they are making a profit, my I would basically get some kind of compensation for taking that cut now, in a sense that when the money goes back up,
Bro, when the numbers are back up, you want the bag, mate. There's no two ways about it.
But when the money's back up, it doesn't just go back up to what I had before. It goes back up with a little bit more because I'm willing to take a cut and work with you now. So when you're down, I'm down. But when you're up, I'm up too.
You know what, though?
And
it sounds like an amazing thing, but
on paper,
go on,
it's
still
a good
put
idea.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds great, but
it sounds like a great film. Did the maker of Notebook make that one?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest.
Yeah, that's
this guy kills me, you know.
It will get to a point.
That's why I think it's so important to have friendships with people in these positions, because I don't have any problems with approaching any of the managers or club owners that I work with and having these conversations. And when I have these conversations, it's never uncomfortable, and I never have to fear them behind my back going, shit, we need to find someone cheaper. Dubl's asking for more money again. Da, 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 da. Do you know what I mean? Like I never have to fear that. If they feel that way, they'll say to me, well, look, not right now because such and such, but let's talk about it in 3 months. Do you know what I mean? Or if they turn around and if they shut the conversation down, and it's happened a few times. I've asked for more money because things have been killing it, or I've been there 2 years and the money's been the same for 2 years, so time to get a little pay rise like you would in a normal job. If they're like, well, actually at the moment we're just renovating or we just had to spend money on this, so that budget's not there. Okay, let's talk about it in 3 months' time. Do you know what I mean? And I think these kind of things have to be put in place from DJs. You can't, I guess my point is you can't just come out of lockdown, like you were saying, suddenly accept half of what you were getting before with no conversation of how you're going to progress. Because let's face it,
you know what the thing is, though, some of these men don't know how to talk. They don't know how to talk to these people.
Yeah, and I think that's inexperience in business, though. I think that's just the case that a lot of young DJs might come out of college, come out of uni, have no business experience, and they just jump into DJing because they love the music, which is nothing wrong with that. I did exactly the same. My first set, bro, I was doing £30 for like 4 or 5 hours, and I had to get a £25 taxi home. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no business sense there. I'm making £5 a week.
Do you know what I mean? The £20 early days, man. 17 and that, trying to sneak in a club for 20 quid. I remember that ones.
Yeah, but I think that's a very important conversation that needs to happen, in a sense of if the clubs are going to put this in place and if people are going to accept lower fees, when they have that conversation of lower fees, they need to put in that conversation the conversation of upper fees as well. Okay, these are the grounds. Well, let's do this till Christmas, or let's do this till just after New Year when things start to pick up again. This is like, give a specific date. This is the date that the pay rise happens. Boom.
No, I totally get what you're saying. If you've got a good relationship with the club and the thing, and that's cool. The difference being, though, is it just depends on what type of DJ you are. If you're a DJ that relies on someone else to pay you, then obviously these are the conversations you're going to have. You're going to have these conversations with club owners, promoters, because you rely on them to pay you. But if you're a DJ that make your own way, for example, you do your own events or the promoters book you for a reason, like they say, we've got this date on, we're going to book you. But when it comes to a residency thing, which we've all do or all have had, we know those conversations, and sometimes you can have them and they're great. Sometimes you turn around and say, I want more money. The next thing you know, you find out they're speaking to another DJ and he's doing it for this. And, you know, all these conversations happen. So, like, if I was to speak to a DJ that's just come in the game and then they've had this opportunity, what I would do is, like I said, I've been saying to a lot of them, like, I know everyone's going to be hungry to get in the clubs and want to do their thing and whatever, but like, you've got to think long term. You've got to think about the next 2-3 years. And if you rush to get in the clubs and just accept what they're going to give you, it's going to be bad news for you in the long run. And I know for a fact it is. I'm not saying this because I think this might happen. I know it will. Because you know what? Because I'm a promoter. And if a DJ comes to me and tells me, and if I say to one of my lads who work for me, can you do 400 quid until we get back on our feet? They're going to be like, what do you mean fucking back on your feet? You're doing 800 people? No, but you know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
No, going to that point you just said about taking control of your own stuff. Like, do you think like doing event like do you think that's a thing that a lot of DJs should look at if they can? And then they're in control. They're in control of their own fate. They're in control of their own finances.
I've been saying it for ages. I've been saying it to every single person that I deal with in this game. You got to start doing your own thing as far as DJs. You have to. Yeah. Now, look, this is the biggest misconception. A DJ thinks that he's going to do his event and he needs to have 100 people, right? But you need to work it out like this. You don't need to do that. You can start small, 50 people at £10, 500 quid. Yeah. 90% of DJs out there are not getting paid £500 for a night.
It's real talk.
So, how many of them can you do a year? Okay, let's say you do one a month. That's £500 for one event. The rest of the time, you can just do your bookings. See what I'm saying? But every single time you do an event and you gain another 50 people, that's going to gain you another £500. But also, it gains you more to play with when a promoter comes in and says,
get the leverage.
Stylist, I want to book you for my event. I know you've got a crowd. Let's talk money. You see, if you didn't do that and you relied on everybody else, you got nothing to play with.
100%.
All right, do me a favour, Sty. Time stamp this right now. Time stamp it. This has to be the clip.
What, the bit where you slow down?
This has to be the clip that we put out because, Silk is talking the most truth right now. I think that's probably one of the most important pieces of advice that we've ever had in the history of the podcast. Like the way
it's all about like
absolutely sick.
It's all about it's like anything. It's all, like a lot of people talk about branding and branding strong, but branding is only what you see. Like, you know what I mean? Like what's on their Instagram. Oh, he's fucking hell. He's got nice, colourful pictures. Mm-hmm. But can you fill a fucking club? Can you fill that club? Can you bring something to me? That's what the promoters want. They want the money. You know what I mean? They don't want to. Oh, you got a nice logo. I don't give a. You know what I mean? I want. You need
it's the experience as well, isn't it? Like, you can make it look good on the outside, and a lot of stuff you see, it might look great, but when you actually go to these events, is it really that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you, a massive misconception as well, which I think almost every DJ overlooks. Yeah, it's more important to have 300 loyal fans in your area than it is to have 10,000 fans on Instagram across the country, because that comes back to my point earlier about those 300 people are going to be the ones that come to your party and put money in your pocket and back you as a DJ and grow you. The 10,000 on Instagram, what's a double tap going to do?
Fuck all.
How many double taps do you need to pay your mortgage? Like, it doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I think that's something. So, yeah, what you're saying is...
So I've got a post on my Instagram that you can actually go back to and have a look. I posted it recently because some girl pointed it out to me. Basically, what happened was when I hit 700 live viewers on one of my shows, I put a tweet out there. The tweet said... like very rare, like 700 viewers. I'll try. Oh, fuck it, 700 viewers. But I ain't got 10,000 followers. But what I have got is a real following that I've had for years. Yeah. So it don't matter about whether you've got 10,000 fucking followers. It's about like the core, real. Do you know what I mean? And promoters like to use this word organic. Do you know what I mean? A lot of men out there ain't got an organic following.
True talks.
And let me tell you why you know that. You can see it, and I hate to point this out, but the lives proved it. But the reason being is this: a lot of DJs got big because a lot of DJs got more followers because everybody else was following them. Oh shit, I need to follow him. Click follow. Yeah. But you see, every single person who's followed me on my page, well, a high percentage of them now, they follow me because of what I do. They've seen it with their own eyes. It ain't about, I'm going to follow so-and-so because he said to follow so-and-so.
Follow for the sake of it. Yeah, they're actually tapping in for the right reason.
Exactly. So when I had 3,000 followers, I knew for a fact that if I put an event on, I'm going to get 700 people every time, no doubt. Do you know what I mean? And just because of my interaction with those people on a daily basis. So, like, I always say to people, followers don't mean anything when it comes to money in your pocket or how you are in the game. It just helps. You know what I mean? It just looks a bit better, but that's all it is.
I feel like even when you had, like, you say you've done your, what was your 4,000 or something at the start of this lockdown, was it, followers? And you're 3.5. So even then, though, you're still filling fucking I don't even know what the numbers were in that venue you was holding the old school parties. So like you was
We
already
did.
doing the numbers anyway. Do you know what I mean?
On the one that I had to cancel in Easter, we'd sold 850 tickets in a week.
Cold
There you go.
in a week as well. You know.
It just that's what I'm saying. Like, it depends on how you want to look at me and how you want to look at my advice that I give DJs. You see, I say this to everybody. Same with artists. When an artist says to me, "Oh, what do you think of my song?" Do you really want to know?
Yep.
Or do you want me to?
just lick your ass?
Do you want me to find something positive in there that you can go away and be like, "Yes, I've got a hit." Do you know what I mean? Do you want to say, "Oh, the beat's sick"? Yeah, but the beat ain't you. The beat's producer. You know what I mean?
I've done that one before.
You've done that. Everyone's done that one. Oh, I like the sample.
Yo, who made the beat?
Yeah, I like the sample you're using. That was that an old Jay-Z song. Fuck off, mate. I mean, so it depends on what you want to do. If you want to take something from what I'm saying, you're gonna have to be burnt the same way that I was when I was coming up. A lot of men were like honest, and then it was just like, whoa. I mean,
sometimes you got to take the burn to make yourself better, though, man. Like.
That's the key.
Sometimes you take it and you learn from it and flip it around. Like, or you're like, nah, man, fuck it. I can't take it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. You either go two ways. You either go, fucking hell, Silk's giving me some great advice there. Fair play to him. He's honest, he's real. Or you go, he's a fucking dickhead.
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
But why, though? Because I haven't agreed.
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah,
What's that?
Exactly that. Because you didn't say yes. Bro, I've had people like artists reach out to me with their songs, and after giving them my opinion, literally unfollowed, blocked, the lot. Like, through their toys. Through their toys right out the pram, because they didn't want my opinion, they wanted my approval.
Yeah, they want to boost. They want to be able to go away and say that DJ Dubl said that my song's sick. So now, when I go to Stylus and he don't like it, I'm gonna go, what the fuck do you mean? Dubl just said it was sick. What you say? You know what I mean? And then it becomes this kind of cat and mouse game.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Real talk.
And like, one thing's happened a lot to me since the lockdown. I've had so many people want to send me songs. It's ridiculous. Wow. Like, my email is a joke. For fucking, I don't know what. And the thing is, I ain't going to listen to them. Do you know why? Because I'm just going to play what's hot. Like, let me just be honest with you. I'm not going to go out my way to find your song in my email and listen to it and go, oh, this is brilliant, I'm going to bust it. No, I'm not. It's your job to get out there. It's your job to fucking make me want to play it.
Make it hot, innit? Make you want to play it.
It's the same as the DJs. You can't just message a DJ and say, "Oh, I'm looking to guest spot on your next event." Fuck off, mate. You know what I mean? Like, somebody in this game needs to give the honesty back to it, because what's happened is it's become this bubble where people can think they can just pick up a fucking controller or a pair of CDJs and become something. And it's true. You can. Something needs to give. You know what I mean? And there's not many of us left now that are still doing it, that are still credible, that are still got something about them, and they're still honest, you know what I mean? And that's where a lot of them ain't honest no more, man.
We've had these conversations so many times. It's like the entry level now is so low. And like you say, man can just grab a controller now and just be out here. And I feel like some of the older gen, like, we're kind of the last of the dying breed, really.
Exactly.
Like, the tech has changed how things work. It changed how people approach the game, and it's just rough.
Yeah, but we need to, I hate using this because it makes me sound old as fuck, makes all of us sound old, but as the older generation of DJs now, it's our responsibility to make sure the entry level is high.
Yeah.
And people I want to just highlight, actually, I was chatting with Scotty B this week. He's right now doing DJ lessons on Zoom. And he's actually part of his lessons. He's making these young bucks turn their screens off to mix.
No way.
Yeah, so he's
actually using the fucking ears.
So Scotty B is actually creating, I don't know how many students he has right now, but he's creating a small pocket of DJs that are learning to DJ with their ears. They're actually using headphones, whereas a lot of the people that are coming up right now, and this isn't necessarily their fault. They're just using the technology they were given.
Of course, yeah.
Same way that we are. There's going to be DJs that back in the day only had one turntable, looking at us going, fucking hell, they're cheating because they've got two turntables.
Oh, man,
you know
this is the thing. You'll see DJs, and you normally see these fucking cunts on Facebook who say stuff like, if he's not mixing on turntables, he's not a real DJ. Shut the fuck up, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You could play. Listen, I've seen DJs come in there with the worst controller ever and smash the rate. It's got nothing to do with what you're using personally. It's just down to Your respect that you have for others that came before you. It's about how much time and effort you're going to go into it, and it's whether or not you're going to put the time in to be good. It's those three things, man. I mean, as bad as it sounds, the people that came before you, you have to respect them. It doesn't matter whether you like them or don't like them. There's a lot of people that came before me I think are absolute dickheads now. But whenever someone asks me about them, I'll say, wow, legend in the game, amazing. Do you know what I mean?
You don't have to like someone, but you can have the respect for them. I hear that still. I hear that.
Yeah.
Of course. That's what you've got to have respect for people that came before you, because we wouldn't be here. We won't be doing what we're doing. Like these men that are earning a lot of money for our bookings, playing the music that we play, have got to that position because of us. Now, they need to show that same appreciation back. Obviously, there are DJs out there that are from the older generation, and they're just like bitter and miserable and horrible. Like every 5 minutes. I mean, I used to be the same. I used to tweet about it all the time. Like I used to hate on like DJs and stuff. Like I used to like tweet about things that they've done that used to piss me off. But then my mindset changed. It was like I'm worried. I'm focused too much on what they're doing. I'm not focusing on what I'm doing, even as I'm older. So hang on a minute. So you're on Twitter talking shit about all the younger DJs, how like you're the godfather of them and whatever. But what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every single one of us can sit here and say we've all been in that mindset where we've seen another DJ come up, think, what the fuck? Where's he come from?
100.
And then you know what I mean? And then we're trying to pick holes in. Oh, okay, he only got this far because footballers played his mix, or he's only got this far because of so-and-so's DJ. You know what I mean? But then what we should have been doing was we should have been thinking, he's got that far. Fair play to him. Like, congratulations, earn a lot of money, but I'm still going to do what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And again, like we spoke about earlier on, that comes with time.
I feel like you've definitely settled down as you got older, Silk. Like, is that just down to like experience and that? Like, I've seen you on the circuit from day, man. Like, obviously, I had you on the socials and that. Like, do you think as you got older, you've settled just because you've been around and you've done it all? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. And like, I think it only really occurred to me when I started seeing the DJs that came after me showing me appreciation. You know what I mean? Because what was happening for a while was a lot of them were coming up. And as soon as I got a booking in the club, it was like Silk me. So you know what I mean? And then like they would think I hated them, and I never even had a conversation with them. So it took a few of them to kind of like big me up, so to speak, for them to me to think, you know what, this is a me problem. This ain't a them problem.
Okay.
Let me reach out to them and show them love. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And I think I don't necessarily think it's an age thing. I just think it's just come to that time. Like, I don't know, like, you know, there's that saying where if nothing's really going on for you, what's the saying? Like, no one broker than me has ever hated on me, or something like that. Fuck knows what he is. You know what I mean?
I get where you go.
You know what I'm saying?
I get where you go with it. I get where you go with it.
Yeah. So someone who's got money never hates on someone else who's got money. It's always the ones who ain't got money who hate on them. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
And then, like, you've got to look at your value. My value might not be $3,500 in a booking for an hour, but my value is 20 years in this game, and I've got a following, and I've got this, and I've got that. So why am I going to put myself against somebody else like that, when what I should be doing is going, we're both doing the same thing. You're here, I'm here. Let's move. You know what I mean?
Everybody can coexist, definitely. And I think, like, also the mentality, you kind of said it there, but like, one thing I always say, whenever my fee or whatnot is come up in negotiation and stuff, you're not paying me for the time I am in the club. You're paying me for the time I've spent to get here.
Yeah,
like
not even just like this year. We're talking from day one.
I'm talking about from when I was doing £30 bookings and getting a £25 cab home to now. This everything I have learned about everything I do. That's what you're paying me for now. You're not paying me for this 60 minutes in the club. You're paying me to bring those skills in for that 60 minutes. That makes sense?
100%. That's exactly what it is. Everybody has got their kind of their weight in gold when it comes to their value. Some people have the time that they've put in. Some people have got the following. Some people have got a radio station logo next to the name. Some people have got all these other things. Everyone's got something, or else you wouldn't be in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just how you use that to either to your advantage or how you get where you want to get. Now, what you don't want to do is, like we said earlier on, is if you haven't got those things, and then all of a sudden you know that, so then you go, shit, I haven't got all this stuff behind me. I'm going to have to take this £100 booking. You know what I mean? That's where the problem goes then. And then, bye-bye. You're never going to come back.
No.
You know what I mean? So I always say to the younger lot, even if you ain't got anything big about you, or you ain't got a following, you ain't got loads of followers, you haven't DJ'd on a bill with Stormzy or fucking Chris Brown, you haven't DJ'd on this and that, don't worry about it. Your time's going to come. Something's going to happen. As long as you want to be in this game, it will come.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, bro, this has been...
I was going to say, this fucking... Bro, we could be here for time. I feel like I've not even touched on some of this stuff yet.
No shade on anyone else, but this has been, I think, one of the most insightful ones we've had, witithout a doubt. Like, this
I don't even feel like we've even talked about anything.
I like it, man. I think there's a lot of what's the phrase? Teachable moments. There's a lot of teachable moments for the younger audience.
So at the end of the day, I mean, this podcast, what it seems to me is, it seems like it's a DJ-orientated podcast. So,
yes, sir.
What I want to try and do, even with the time that I've been on here, is try and give DJs advice. Now, it might not be down to the fact of how you fucking mix an acapella onto an instrumental. What we've touched on today is the business side of things and how it can go wrong. Do you know what I mean? For a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do now. Like, if I've got this time, I want to try and help as many DJs that I can do, even if it's just this. Obviously, I ain't going to be fucking giving my number out and have some dickhead follow me asking me about advice on this and that. But my little things that I can do, I want to do, because, like I said, we've all been there, man. We've all come up in the game, and it's hard, man. It's a graft.
It is a graft.
I mean, you're constantly comparing yourself to somebody else and saying, why am I not here? Why am I not here? When what you need to do is just crack on. Get on these fucking turntables, whatever you use, and just crack on, man, and it will come.
I feel like that's going back to when we mentioned the anxiety briefly earlier. Like, that's probably where a lot of it stems from, because it's competitive out here. People are always looking at how next man's doing, or they're comparing numbers, like the way Instagram is now. And like, you can easily get caught in the trap. But like you say, man, if you just believe in the process and you do things the
right
right
way.
As
well. Like, one last thing. Sorry, I know you guys want.
No, it's cool, G. It's cool.
We're good.
Right. So let's even go to the numbers situation with the Instagram Live. If you're going to sit there and be worried about what a next man's doing on his numbers, and then look at yourself and go, shit, my numbers ain't the same, my numbers are poor. There's two ways you can go. You can sit down and feel sorry for yourself. Then all of a sudden you get anxiety and you're depressed. Yeah, which happens. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this is happening right now. But or you can go, okay, that ain't my field. That ain't where I'm going to be strong in. But what I am going to be strong in, well, Mixcloud, fucking hell, I get 10,000 plays on there. My man ain't doing that, but I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Everyone's got their strengths. I said this to the lads. Some people have got Mixclouds or Soundclouds that they get thousands of plays, where, you know, I'm on Insta Live and I'm getting this. And then you've got some people that have got a club night. It's only 100 people in there. I've got 800 people. Then you've got a DJ out there that's flying to Marbella every week in the summer, but I'm just in Brum. I mean, everyone's got their strengths.
Real talk.
If you look at those strengths that they've got and use it as a way of defining yourself, you're never going to make it. You're always going to sit at home and then you're going to tweet about, I'm so depressed, I hate life. Fuck that, man. Just get on with it.
Yeah.
Yo, but I'll be honest, like, when I started, I'd never streamed before lockdown happened, innit? I'd never done it in Slav, I'd never done nothing. Like, at the start, like, the numbers disheartened me a little bit, and I just had to, like you say, you go in, I was in my feelings for a hot minute, and then you learn to just put it behind you and just move forward with it. Like, but I can see where people get lost in it. Like, I'll hold my hands up. The numbers thing definitely did. It'll be in there, and you're seeing them going up and down. Like you say, the key is to just go in there and just do your thing.
Yeah, that's
you know
the
what I
thing,
mean?
man. With numbers, that time that I mentioned earlier, the one time I did an IG live was because I tried to set something up on YouTube and it didn't work. But I had everything was set up in the studio, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm not wasting my time. I'm just going to jump on IG. Bro, I'm not even joking. I probably had the most people in at one time was probably 11 people, right? But I wasn't watching the numbers, literally didn't care. If 10,000 people had come in, it would have been the same to me as if 4 people had come in. Like, I was just there to spin and have a vibe, and because I was in the streaming mindset, I just set IG live up. And same way you see with my Mixcloud, in the past, I used to be hesitant to drop mixes on a regular. I literally got down to one a year because I wasn't doing weekly numbers on Mixcloud. But through lockdown, I just thought to myself, you know what? Just to occupy my spare time, I'm going to hammer out some mixes. And I'm not doing numbers on there, but honestly, I couldn't tell you what numbers I'm doing on there because I don't check.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun doing a mix. I just do a shitty little artwork for it that takes me about 5 minutes and chuck it out just because I'm having fun playing with the music and doing what I want to do to my strengths. Does that make sense? So I think one thing people are really doing is they're focusing on numbers. Like, just have fun and let the numbers just come to you.
We were all doing it at one point when Rusky and like Nathan Dorr and those people, when they were smashing it with numbers. I mean, there's a few lads in Brum that absolutely kill it on the numbers, and you do sit back and you go, fucking hell, what? I mean,
where's the formula there?
Yeah, but like I said, it's some people are just strong in other areas, right? But we can say that we can, like, I love to be positive all the time, but but let's be real, let's be honest. The numbers game has been a big shock to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, in lockdown, you mean?
Yeah, because if you've got 10,000 followers and only 30 people are watching your stream, something's not right there. Now, we can sit back and we can go, they're bought followers or this and that. I don't think that's true. What I think is what I said earlier on, is just you have a certain following that follows you for a certain reason. It might not be because they want to watch you DJ. It might not be because of that. It might be because they like the way, like, for example, Stylist, they like his branding, or they like the way that he's filming, or, I mean, you got different things for different things. For me, everybody who follows me is just for DJing. I don't do anything else. You know what I mean? So, and it's also down to a lot of things. It's word of mouth. It's you can't, like I said, you can't let it beat you up. But at the same time, it does give you a little reality check.
Yep.
And I think it has done for a lot of men. A lot of men came on there, done a live, went, fuck me, and never came back. I mean,
it's true.
But we've got to be honest about these things. It's the same as, like, let me tell you, for example, like, if you went on to One Extra or Capital Extra or any of those stations now, I guarantee you, if you look at the hourly shows, I bet you their ratings are poor. I bet you they're awful compared to what they used to be.
Yeah,
but what do? You know what I mean? You either look at it and think, fucking hell, what do I do here? Like, so-and-so's, Silk's got 2,500 people in his live, whereas I'm on radio on the biggest station in the UK and I've got 300 people listening. Do you know what I mean?
Stories.
What do? Do you just go, shit? Or do you go, hang on, I'm on the biggest station in the UK. Fucking Silk's 2,500. Do you know what I mean? It just depends on how you look at it. Some people take it well, some people take it really bad.
And there you go.
Yeah, facts. Big facts.
Fucking hell. Yo, Silk, before we go, yeah, obviously the lives, right? You play. I know you said you play a lot of dancehall in the clubs and all that, but bro, that your Dubplate game, yeah, is getting silly now. Like, has that always been a thing for you, G? Like, I know the hip hop culture, you mentioned it, like the dancehall thing. Has that been with you like all the way? Have you already always been in that like Dubplate culture? Because I feel like you're hella stacked, fam. Like, when you listen to the sets, you can hear it and see it with your own eyes, mate. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, when I started DJing, 2000. So like, I was on a pirate radio station in Wolverhampton, called Skyline. It was called, and it was heavily reggae, heavily bashment, heavily reggae, dancehall reggae, and I think there was only like 4 hip hop shows, R&B shows. And I used to be on there, so it would always be around me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I came into the game as an R&B hip hop DJ, mainly R&B. Like, that's how I got the name from that. But like, so it was always around me, so I was always aware of it. So imagine, like, I wasn't really getting booked for a lot of R&B hip hop raves. I was always going to be the R&B hip hop DJ at the bashment rave. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Those guys that come on and just break it up. So I would always hear the songs and see the reaction. And then whenever I did have a booking elsewhere, or I did have a set on a radio station at a different time, I'd always drop them in. You know what I mean? And then that's how it goes, and it just escalated from there. Now, what happened was, when I became known again in Birmingham, which was like 10 years ago, I started cutting dubs. because I just wanted to add that little bit extra to my sets.
The extra spice.
Yeah. So every certain songs, I'd cut a dub for it, and then we just went from there. And then what happened was that's just always been in my set. Like if you ever hear me play, you'll always have heard a dub. It doesn't matter where. You know what I mean? And with the lives now, it's just more people.
It's become a thing, innit? It's become a thing because I seen you like, yo, wait till you hear, man. I seen you. I don't know what the last dub was because I missed the live, but you like I seen you made a thing out of it in the promo and that. You said you had a dub of the big. What record was it? Which did you have one on the last one?
Yeah, Cranium, Gal Policy.
Okay, yeah. You're going in G.
So what happened was the more people heard the dubs than before. So I say this all the time. It's like Birmingham people or Wolverhampton people or whatever. They would have listened to the live and be like, "Oh fucking hell, Silk's playing. Like he's playing this dub. Oh,
they already know.
Yeah, nothing new for them." But everybody else was like, "What the fuck? You know what I mean? Where's this guy come from? We cartel touch a button."
Yeah, you know what it is as well? I feel like the newest generation of clubbers, especially where UK music is so heavy, they're not used to hearing dubplates because dubplate culture isn't really buried in the stuff that's popping in the UK side of things right now. Do you know what I mean? In Funky, there was a huge dubplate culture in Funky, which I feel like Deneo brought that first.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the artists followed. And same way, like, even in the UK dancehall side of things, Stylo G does incredible dubs, but there's not really, we haven't got such a big UK dancehall scene to have those kind of dubs flying around everywhere. And who else can I think in the UK? Western do great dubs.
Yeah. Well, they do punch-ins, which I didn't like, man. I don't like the punch-ins. Do you know what punch-in is?
Is that why they just punch in that one little sentence at the start of the thing?
Just
and
a small bit, yeah.
I've got them, but like, I don't really like them because
Silk's only fucking with the proper cut dubs, the relay vocal and
you
that.
You prefer the full on.
Well, not really, but it just depends on what it is. Okay, so for example, Western, right? I mean, they're an amazing group. I think they're a really good group. I think the singer is a great singer. But
yeah, shouts to Hailey.
If they would have just gone a little bit extra step with the dubs for the DJs, I think it would have made a big difference. I don't know any DJ that plays their punch, like the dubs that are punched in.
Yeah, I play them.
Do you?
Yeah, I got a sick Ben Over. I got a Ben Over one. Ben Over one's the favourite that they've sent me. But I know what you mean. So I got it where they actually changed the whole chorus for me.
There you go. So
you got nice. Man, never got one of them still.
Did you ever hear the story about Tory Lanez? Have you ever heard that one?
The which one, sorry?
The story about Tory Lanez. So what Tory Lanez does, he spoke about this. There's a clip somewhere on YouTube, you find it. He cuts every single DJ on Hot 97, people over here even maybe, I don't know. But he cuts every single DJ a dub of a song. So if he's got a song that's coming out, he'll cut them in the dub, voice the dub, send it them, and then that's how they're all fucking playing. You know what I mean? There's been a few that have done that over here. I think, like I said, Western are probably the only people that do it that I can think of.
You don't even have to ask for the Western ones; they just land in the email, man. Like,
I think that's down to what's his name though? Is it
Maurice? I think Maurice.
Maurice. Yeah, man. Maurice has a lot to do with that. Deneo, I think Deneo and Stxylo are probably the two main artists that, off their own back, cut the dubs and send them out. That I can think of.
I feel like a lot of artists lost the way with that in regards to like the power of the DJs. Like you say, Torby's doing that because he fucks with the DJs and he knows collectively, if all these men are playing a proper cut dub, it benefits them and makes more noise. Do you know what I mean? Do you think that got lost?
Well, yeah, because what should have happened is, like, especially UK, right? It's easy for you to just go out there and go, okay, let me find the top 5 DJs in every city, and then, or top 3, or even the top 1, and let's voice them a dub of this song that we know has got traction. It's getting played on Spotify, it's getting played on Apple Music. We know it's got traction, so we know the DJ has got it in his box. But let me just give him that extra little squeeze so that this is going to be played every single time he plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's 1 minute out of your time that you could do. I mean, they could even be smart. Do you know how many times I've messaged like UK artists and said like, cut this dub, I'll give you some money. I'll pay for the studio time. And then some just ignore you and some do it.
Mad.
You know what I mean? It's like I know there's a lot of gig stubs floating around at one time. I don't know whether he's still. You know what I mean? But I pay for a gig stub, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
same way.
It's just for the artist, like for example, Stxylo G. I think Stxylo G probably only cuts 3 songs now for like the regulars who've been there from day one. I think everybody else is charging now, and I think he should do as well.
I might.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've earned that.
Yeah, but in dancehall culture as well, especially like out in Jamaica, that's how a lot of the artists make the bulk of their money. Especially in the lower ranks. Obviously not I'm saying Stxylo lower ranks now, but they line up a bag of DJs all paying like £50-60, or obviously in Jamaican dollars, probably like $150 or whatever it is for the, I can't remember the
massive, like pounds in Jamaican dollars is ridiculous.
It is a lot more, isn't it? But the artists make the bulk of their money through selling dub plates rather than doing shows or actual music sales. So yeah, but yeah, I think you're right. I think he does. I think Stxylo does just cut a few for like.
I think a lot of UK artists have missed a big thing there. Do you know? Like, I can't think of anything right on the top of my head, but you know, like a song that we know as DJs. Fuck me, that could have been a big song, but it just didn't get there. You know, maybe if the DJs had a little bit of an extra incentive to play it, maybe it could have got there.
True story.
You know, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's definitely something out there, and that's why the funky house scene was so big, because the DJs, when they were getting the dubs, mate, that song was getting played every set. Like Kyla, Do Your Mind, when people was getting that. I know a few men that got that on dub. They're still played now.
I think I'm the only person that didn't have that one on dub.
Yeah, I didn't get one. I didn't get one.
Oh, right. But there was a bag of them floating around, definitely. So, but it's something.
Does it work the same with the dancehall artists then, bro?
How do you mean?
Sorry, Dubs. No, I meant in regards to Silk, like the way he collects his Dubplate stack. Like, do you just reach out to these man directly through management? Like, or is it more of relationships that you built with these people over the years of supporting and that? Or is it a mixture?
You just have a link. You have a solid link that you find, because what you got to understand is this is actually a good topic because it's happening a lot at the moment. Like, there's a lot of scammers out there. There's a lot of people that will hit up DJs and say, I can get you this dub, get you that dub, get you from this artist. And they're just hungry for it, you know what I mean? So they'll be in your inbox every 5 minutes, I can get you this. And then you find out you send them the money and they don't come back with a song. Or it's fake. There's a lot of fake dubs flying around right now. I've had a conversation with a couple of DJs. I won't name the names, but I've sorted it out for them. We've got that done. They had some fake dubs. Wow. And it's happening. So you need to find a strong link. As soon as you find a strong link, then you go from there. But it also has to suit your personality. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just all of a sudden start cutting dance or dub plates if you don't really play dance or too tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a club and you're playing Lil Baby all the time and it's a bottle show club, and then all of a sudden you walk in there with a Capleton Salute Them dub, they're going to be like, what the fuck? you're just copying
my True story. I feel like man, we're checking your lives every week now, expecting like the next dub. Like, do you feel any pressure on that, or you just it's you anyway, innit? But obviously, this new audience that's happening, are they just? Do you feel like you gotta still just give them that dancehall thing, or are you still maneuvering around with your music with this new fan base that you've generated?
Yeah, so I'm still playing predominantly dancehall on the live, but like I don't like, I've just cut stuff when. Like, I think during the quarantine, I've cut a lot, to be fair.
You've been going in.
But a lot of it was older stuff that I always needed to get. And then I've cut, like, brick upon brick. I cut that. I cut something on the aircraft rhythm. I cut a few things. But, like, I don't feel as though I need to, because, like, a lot of the dubs that I play I've had already. Like, I had them from years ago. And then what happened was I just play them, and it is what it is. And at the beginning, when it first started popping, people wanted to hear the new, like, what's he got this week? Whereas now it don't really matter. The only reason why I hyped up that Cranium one is because I didn't pay no money for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair plays.
And now I know that there's a few other DJs in the UK that got sent it as well. Cranium's smart, man. Smart guy.
Need more artists like that, man.
He has a good team around him, man. He's got a very good team around him. So, yeah, they're moving correctly with Cranium, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's just got to suit you. If you don't suit you, don't do it. Like, if you play drill music, predominantly, get fucking the drill man to cut songs. I mean, I sent money to. Do you remember that song Greasy came out with? Do you remember that one?
Oh, the flipping
chop in the bando. I don't wanna look like you.
So I've got that on dub. You know what I mean? I sent in money for the studio time, and then they done it, and that was back years ago. You know what I mean? It's just got to think outside the box. Whereas there's a couple of men that I've tried to hook up Dubplates, and they don't even get back to you. It's fucking free money, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I have a funny story actually. When in 2011, I think it was, I actually went to Jamaica to make a mixtape, and while I was out there, one day rhythm was still quite a big thing, and there was an opportunity to do a studio session with Cargo. You know, nah, sell out, my friend, that tune, big tune at the time, and so this was all lined up, and then, out of nowhere, opportunity to record with Movado came up, and Starboy was a big rhythm, and Pepper was a big rhythm as well.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, they were at two different studios at the same time. So, I went to the one where Movado was going to be, but I told Cargo to come link me there, so I could sort the dub out. Now, being naive, I didn't get him to do the dub first and then bring it to me. So, what happened was, he arrived, I paid him for the dub, went into the studio with Movado, came out, where's Cargo? He's not picking up his phone, he's not answering the messages, never heard from him again, ever. Boom. So he ran with the money. Now it was literally like, it was about 30 quid. That was all he wanted. It was about 30 quid at the time, I think. It wasn't like life-changing money, but...
That story's worth about 30 quid, bro, so you're nice.
Did you get the Movado though?
Yeah, I got two from Movado, yeah. At the time, Starboy, I got Starboy and I got Pepper.
Nice. Did you get them split? Like, did you get the acapella?
No, he wouldn't give it to me.
Yeah. So back in them days was when I got Movado and he wouldn't give a split.
No.
But like now, he's doing splits now. But he's oh no. But yeah, we've all got stories like that, man. I mean, I've got some great stories, man. But I'll just, like I said, the one that comes to mind is the cranium one. I sent a guy some money on Facebook, which I knew was a bad idea. But he had all the links, had all the videos, and then I sent him the money, went missing. So then I used my initial. This wasn't a new cranium. This was what's that? What the first one that came out? Nobody has to know.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah.
So what happened was I got his email from somewhere, craniums, and I sent him an email. But I sent him an email with like screenshots of the conversations and the money sent and everything with this guy. So and then he replied back saying like, oh, you know, that's fucked. Like, sorry that happened to you. I'll cut you the dub now. But I still have to pay. But you know, it's just one of them things. Like you hear it all the time. And like I said recently, there's been a few man that have been stooped with the fake dubs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's part of that culture, man. Like that's why there's a thing called scammers, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the split thing where you could get the plate and then the vocal on top. Because I feel like these days you can't even get. Remember back in the day, you get a vinyl, the man will put the acapella on the other side, you get the instrumental. I feel like even that's gone. Like it's hard to even get hold of a crisp studio acapella most times these days.
Yeah.
Like
so I mean, what happens is when you get split, you just get one. You get the instrumental
channels,
channel.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Left and right.
Okay.
Yeah, where they pan it, and then you just have to do what you do in mono.
I feel like this is a whole podcast in itself, mate.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not the person to have that combo with. You want a proper. You want proper dancehall people in for that.
Yeah, let's get Shawnee B on. Shawnee B can be the Dubplate.
Oh yeah, Shawnee B has got a catalogue. Fucking, I can imagine.
We could probably get Shawnee on here, you know. My man, I remember when he came and he slew Jam, mate. Like, my guy looked like he lost like 10 pounds of sweat that night. Oh my, he was going ham, fam. Jesus.
Do you know Shawnee B used to be sick with them remixes, man?
Yeah.
Goes in, fam.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna line that up because I'm friends with Shawnee and.
What's his tagline? What was it? The refix kid or something back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember who else was amazing? G-Child,
original R&B show on One Extra back in the day.
G-Child's a brummie.
Do you know what he's doing? Do you know what he's doing right now?
Oh, it's management, isn't he? Isn't he Afrobeats manager?
Afrobeats manager, and I only found out when I met him in person. We'd been emailing each other. I've been emailing Gavin.
You didn't know it was him the whole time.
I've been emailing this guy, Gavin, for the longest time. And when we met in person, I was like, the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I'm here to meet you. Like,
that's
what?
mad. Yeah,
Where's
that's
Gavin?
mad.
I am Gavin. Like,
Oh,
whoa.
man, adapted, bro.
Crazy.
I'm here for
Yeah.
it. And look at Afrobeat now. Fucking
Sailing,
he's
mate.
doing his thing, mate.
See,
Absolutely
G-Char's Brum.
Okay,
And
okay.
come from Brum. And like I said, he's one of the guys that I look up to.
Birmingham has birthed a lot of great, very successful talent, man. Like,
I feel like there's
Birmingham
something in the water in
actually-
Brum, you know. Well, around them
100%.
regions anyway. Like, defo.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think it comes down to the fact of the crowds that we play to. I think like it makes you a better DJ.
Okay.
It's a real crowd. Not many cities have got that. It's like as long as you play in at the proper places, you become a better DJ. Even if you're the worst DJ, you'll go to another city and you'll still be a little bit up there compared to their worst DJ. You know what I mean? Okay,
dope. Yo, Silk, man. Fucking, this has been nearly 2 hours, I think. We was meant to do a Q&A half an hour ago on Instagram. But fuck it. It's all good. Thanks for coming on, G. Like, you dropped some gems there, mate. Like, this will be a
you might have to edit it, get it all in there, but, you know.
No, we don't do that, man. Bro. This is raw. We put it out raw.
we don't edit. We just slap an intro and an outro on it.
I know DJs want to hear about scratching and doing this and doing that, but fucking hell, you want to hear the real side of it, don't you?
To be fair, the people that listen to our thing, like, they do like these kind of pods, man. They want the gems, they want the info. Like, that's what we try and cover, innit? Like, we're not really, we talk some technicals and that, but we're trying to show people what's really going on out here, innit? Like, that's what we're trying to do.
What I liked about it as well, is everybody always wants to talk about, like, accomplishments or like what was the most defining thing in your life and in your career and all that. It's like one thing that I learned from Westwood, which is it's
another convo.
One thing I learned from him, the only thing is he always used to say, he just don't ever look back, he just keeps going, and that's why he still stay where he is. He just don't ever go back and listen to the old shows. He don't go back and do this, do that. He just keeps going. And that's what I think's good. Like, you know what I mean? We can sit here all day and everybody can and say, I accomplished this, and this. I've done this with that person. But when it comes down to it, what do other DJs want to hear? They want to hear stuff that they're going to go through or that they've experienced. You know what I mean? Everyone's got great moments. Doesn't matter whether you're the DJ, local DJ at Revolution, or you're fucking a DJ playing at O2 Arena. Everyone's got little moments in their life that was defining for them. But what matters is what we're talking about, the real shit, and what you guys do.
So loves this podcast life, man. You could do this shit, bro.
I was a radio DJ for a while.
Cold, man. Fucking hell.
I went on One Extra for a bit, like all you. Like remember when Extra Talent was about?
Yeah. Shit, you did. Did you?
You did it as well, yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. Look, let me try it.
Well, all Extra Talent residents. Then we got something in common.
I got the cutout here. Look still.
Mad. Dope.
Yes.
Look at that face.
You was on was you on the first one, like in the old building?
Look at that face.
Mad.
You look like H.
This man said he looks like H, you know.
And do you know what's crazy as well? Look at who was on live when I must have print screened it.
What was it? G-Child?
Wow.
Mad. Yo, that's fucked. That's mad. That's mad.
Crazy,
was that in the old? Was that in the old building as well?
Yeah, 2006.
Crazy.
That was with what was his name? The guy, man, the dread.
Raz Kwame or
no, he wasn't a DJ, as a producer. Ed, no, I can't remember what his name was.
Fucking hell.
He went on to do massive things, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, there's like another DJ from Wolves that made it big on there. Was a guy called Asante, but his name's Bernard. Have you ever heard of Bernard Apachong or something like that?
I don't think so. I remember Asante though.
Yeah, Asante. So he went on to One Extra. He was one of the original producers.
Okay.
And then he started producing for BBC Two now. I think he does like Beverly Night Show or something.
Mad.
But yeah, man. So I was around. That's when I went on there, and it was probably like the most unprepared I've ever been for a radio show in my life. And the joke is, you had 4 of them. Do you remember? You had 4.
Yeah, the monthly slot.
So when I did it, it was in the transition between vinyl and CD.
Okay.
No, I didn't have Serato yet. Serato was 2007, so it was in that changeover time. So like I'd be playing like the older songs on vinyl, but then trying to keep up with the new stuff that was on CD, and then like I would turn up late and fuck, it was just crazy.
Fucking hell, bro.
we've all been there, man. We've all done it, man.
Mad.
Flipping. Well.
Yeah, man, safe. I'm gone now this time.
DJ Silk, big up your chest, bro. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you, man.
Follow us at TalkOver Pod, Spotify, YouTube for the visuals, Apple Podcasts as well. Follow DJ Silk at Silk Shutdown. Is it on the socials? Yeah.
Yeah.
And stay in the loop on there, man. But yo, Silk, thanks for that, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right, I'll hit you up when it's up. Yeah.
Safe.
All right, bro. Take it easy, man.
Nice one.
Peace, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Safe.
So there it is, another sick episode. Hashtag TalkOver Podclart. Like Stxylo said, Spotify, Apple Podcasts or Apple Music? Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcast, yeah.
Yes.
Podcast.
And podcast. And YouTube now. We're back on YouTube in case you didn't know. You can see our pretty faces and my unshaven
These episodes
face.
they're getting longer, G. We're 30 minutes late for our Q&A and I am dying for a shit.
Let's go. Yeah.
I am dying for a shit, bro. It's not even a joke. I've been squeezing my butt cheeks for about half an hour.
Stylus is turtle heading. We've got a Q&A to do, so we're out of here. Until next time, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. All right, my guys. Next one, yeah?
Peace.